Hello everyone. The year 1857 holds a great importance in the history of India. In 1857, there was a major revolt that shook the very foundation of East India Company's rule in India. The British historians call it a purely military revolt, while we Indians regard it as the first war of Indian independence. The events of 1857 were the culmination of people's sufferings and people's hatred caused by the oppressive British rule. Lord Canning was the first Governor General of India. What caused the revolt? So there are 6 causes for this revolt: political causes, administrative causes, economic causes, social and religious causes, military causes, and immediate causes. So coming on to political causes, the annexation policy of the British was one of the most important political causes. The Lord Dalhousie's doctrine of lapse was the most important political cause. So what is this doctrine of lapse? For example, if a ruling king dies, then his successor will take over the kingdom. The successor may be an adopted son or the king's own son. This doctrine of lapse states that upon the death of the ruling king, the successor can take over the kingdom only if the successor is the own son of the king, not an adopted son. So this developed fear among the kings having adopted sons and not their own sons. So next, coming on to the administrative causes. Indians disliked the British administration. For example, the replacement of Persian language by English language as the court language was completely disliked by the people. People felt insecure of their property, land and even lives during the British administration. The most affected part of the British administration was the revenue system. The peasants and the landlords suffered equally. The peasants had to pay heavy land taxes. British avoided Indians from civil jobs and military jobs. So even the educated Indians felt disappointed because of British administration. So now coming on to the economic causes. Economic exploitation of India, huge draining of wealth and the disappearance of native industries disturbed the normal economic life of people in India. Lord Bentinck's resumption of rent-free tenures reduced the landowners to poverty. The Indian weavers and craftsmen were paid little wages, which eventually destroyed the cotton textile industry of India, which was once the largest and the most beneficial industry of India. Coming on to the social and religious causes. Abolition of sati, abolition of female infanticide and legalizing widow remarriage were brought by the British government, and this was considered as an interference to the Hindu tradition. Hindus were able to receive a share of their ancestral property if they are Christian converts. Obviously, the main motive is to convert the Hindus to Christians. So these religious sentiments were the religious causes. So now coming on to the military causes. The Indian sepoys felt discontent because the highest pay of an Indian sepoy was less than the minimum pay of a raw European recruit. And there was no promotion for Indian soldiers, and the Indian sepoys were insulted very badly. In 1856, Lord Canning brought a new act called General Services Enlistment Act. This act states that the Bengal army must be ready to serve within and outside India and even overseas. The proportion of Indian troops to the British troops was very high. The number of Indian soldiers to the British soldiers was 5 times more. So now coming on to the immediate causes. The greased cartridges brought for the new Enfield rifles was the immediate cause for the mutiny. The greased cartridges had to be bitten off before loading. Believing that these cartridges were greased with the fat of cows and pigs, the Hindus and Muslims refused to use these cartridges because Hindus considered cows to be sacred and Muslims considered pigs to be detestable. On 29 March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a young Indian sepoy, refused to use the cartridge at Barakpur near Kolkata. When he was forced by a sergeant, he shot him down. Immediately, he was arrested and he was executed. So this brought a new revolt. This emerged as a revolt in Barakpur. The first sign of unrest appeared at Barakpur in Bengal, but the rebels were suppressed and the rebels were punished. In May 1857, the rebels at Meerut broke out into an open revolt and broke open the prison, releasing their comrades. They galloped to Delhi and brought the entire Delhi under their control. The revolt then spread across Kanpur, Lucknow, Delhi, Bareilly and Bihar. The most important leaders of this revolt were Rani Lakshmibai of Jhansi, Nana Sahib and Tantiato. The revolt at Kanpur was led by Nana Sahib, the adopted son of Peshwa Bajirao II, and this revolt was suppressed by Sir Colin Campbell. The entire Kanpur was brought under the control of British by November 1857 at Delhi was led by the powerless Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah II, suppressed by Colson, Nicholson, and Sir John Lawrence. This revolt of Delhi was suppressed by them, and after when Mughal Emperor Bahadur Shah was exiled to Rangoon, where he died at the age of 87. Next, coming on to the revolt at Lucknow. The revolt at Lucknow was led by Begum Hazrat Mahal, the wife of Nawab of Oudh, and this revolt was also suppressed by Sir Colin Campbell, and the entire Lucknow was brought under the British control at March 1858. So now coming on to the revolt at Central India. This revolt at Central India was led by Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi and Tantia Tope. This revolt was suppressed in June 1858. And coming on to the revolt at Bihar. The revolt at Bihar was led by Kunwar Singh, an 80-year-old landlord of Jagdishpur. He fought bravely till his death, and after his death his brother Amar Singh led the revolt, but this revolt was collapsed soon. Though this revolt ended in a failure, it sowed the seeds for that tree which bore the fruit in 1947 when India became free from foreign yoke. Thank you.